Welcome back in the sewing room. Y'all, it's gonna get cold, like mid-time winter cold in 2 days. It is going to be so incredibly cold. Welcome back in the sewing room. Y'all, I'm so glad you're here. Look, I've got on short sleeves because it's warm up here today. It is. It's a warm day. And in 2 days, it's going to be freezing. And I literally mean freezing. The high's not going to get above 30. And for me, that is very, very cold. Especially this early. I mean, today it's in the 70s. And in 2 days, it's not going to be in the 30s. That's 50 degrees. I'm going to freeze. So, back to our weather forecast. We could even have snow. And y'all, usually I would just stay in. But Monday I have appointments and I have things I have to do. So I have to get out and it's going to be so cold. You all will see this on Monday night. And hopefully I will not have frozen to death in the meantime. Today is Saturday and it is just, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. My dental surgery went fine. I'm doing great. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Because I know some of you all have asked and are asking. No, my dental surgery was fine. Everything, no problems. Everything is well. This is just phase 1 of 2 or 3 different steps, but this was phase 1. So, y'all remember our jacket that we put our sewing machine on, that I've now made a vest because I took the sleeves off of it? Well, we're going to make it a warm jacket, a nice toasty warm jacket. Yes, we are. Nice toasty warm jacket, or at least the sleeves of it are going to be toastier. I've toyed with the idea and tried to figure out exactly how I could do this other, and I can't figure it out. I don't want to go to the trouble to figure it out. Let's just put it that way, because I can figure it out. Because what I would do would be lay this down and cut a piece for the front, 2 pieces for the front, come in here and stitch them on in here, and that would give us a flannel lining on the inside here. Or fleece, if you really want it to be warm. But number 1, if you're doing your jacket this way, you need to remember you need to size up, because the more fabric you put on the inside of this jacket, the tighter it's going to become. So if you normally wear a large and you're going to do these extra steps and put some linings and things into it, you need to buy an extra large or a 2X, depending on how thick and how much fabric you're putting on the inside. Okay? Because you got to have that extra room. So just remember that. And do we want to do this to this jacket, you all? I mean, we could. We really could. We could line the whole thing, and then it would really be snuggly. It's a thought. Let's do our sleeves today, and then we'll give it a thought, and then we'll decide if we're going to do the rest of it. And that'll be in another video. Okay, this is what I've got. Got 2 pieces of flannel right here. 2 pieces. And I'm just using this blue-green color, azure color. It's not really green, it's not a blue, it's seafoam green color possibly. I've got those 2. Then I've got my sleeve right here. Gonna lay this sleeve on here just like this. Okay? And then you've got your outside piece just like this. Okay? Right like so. You want to make sure that you've got it completely covered. Okay? And that you're over all the way there. And you've got everything where it needs to be. See, there's nothing showing of my sleeve. Okay, now then we're going to take this over to the ironing board, and we're going to take our pin cushion because we're going to pin it. And I'm going to show you how we fix this so that when we quilt it, it comes out and it looks like this. And this is the inside. See all the quilting? Can y'all see all that? See all my little hexagons that have been quilted? That's our quilted sleeves. Okay? That's how you do that. Okay? So let's go to the ironing board. I'll meet you over there. Alright, look at all of our beautiful, beautiful sunshine coming in this window. And this is a one-way design fabric, so keep that in mind. I do not want my little ladies standing on their heads. So this is at the shoulder. Okay, up here's the shoulder. And that is where this is, right here. Okay, because I don't want my ladies standing on their heads. Alright, so I'm going to come in here first and I'm going to cut this off right across here. Because this is just excess that I do not need. So I'm going to fold that up and pop it right there on that little ironing board. Okay? Now then, we're going to give this a good press. A good press. Get all the wrinkles out where it's been folded. I like to use this smooth finish right here. It's not really a starch, it just kind of gets the wrinkles out a little bit. I can remember my granny, and I think my mama even had a sprinkler that she would use when she would iron. She kept water in it and she would just sprinkle her fabrics with it. Do y'all remember those? Before we had spray balls. Lord, I'm telling my age. It's back in the day anyway. I was just a little bitty girl, but I can remember that. Sure can. Alright, now then, we've got that kind of pressed. Now then, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to lay it right like this, and I'm going to cut around this sleeve. Make sure you've got that pressed outward, because that's part of your seam. Alright, then I'm going to cut up like this. I'm just going to kind of round that in just so I can get to the edge of this. Okay? Because this is how we're cutting this out. Come over here and make sure that's all pressed outward. You can cut right down through. If that is not quite wide enough, and mine was not because these were pieces I had cut for something else. If it is not quite wide enough and you miss, like I do, just that tiny, tiny little bit right there, don't worry, that's in your seam and nobody will ever see it, and it's on the inside and it'll be just fine. Okay, so don't panic. Now then, we've got to do the same thing with this, but first we're going to turn it like this, okay, so that our sleeve, bottom of our sleeve, our cuff of our sleeve, where our hands is down toward me, okay? And then I'm going to turn this up under, just an inch or so, right like that. And I'm going to press it, because that is going to be the outside point of our sleeve, okay? And here is where you want to start to pin. What did I do with my pins? Here's my little dog. I knew he came over here with me. This is where you want to start to pin it. All right, do you see this? This right here, you want to cut right up through there. Just like so. And from there, you're going to turn this back in to where you can see this little seam right here, okay? Clipping ever so small and slight across there. Then you're going to pin this down. Alrighty. See that? And now this one you can leave out this way because that will go into the seam when we add that back on. Okay? This one you want to turn in under as well, right there, to that seam, right there. And then we're going to do the same thing with our backing, but we'll do it in a minute, okay? This right here is all we're doing at the moment. You want to make sure that you get this all laid on there straight with no humps and bumps in it. And you want to pin it around the edges. All the way around the edges. Okay? This one I need to put some pins in right up here because I didn't do that. Keep smoothing and make sure you get it all smooth. Be careful, don't burn yourself on the iron. My finger is healing, you all, but it was a nasty burn from that hot glue. It was a nasty burn. I've kept it covered. I've got it uncovered today, I think, for the first day. It's been several days now, actually, so hopefully it's on the mend. But I believe it's going to leave a scar. There it is. Alright, now then, here we're going to turn it over this way now. Just like this, and we're going to cut around it again. This will go over into the scraps. Alright, now then, let's cut this right up through here. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut it from this side so I can see. And then we're going to turn it back in like this, just ever so slightly, and catch it with our pins. This right here you also need to cut off right here, okay? Just like that. And then you need to turn it up under just a tiny bit. Ouch, ouch. Now I'm sticking myself. Oh, it's so hot up here right now, I am burning up. but I will not be in a couple of days. I do know that for a fact. I will be freezing. All right, now then, let's turn this up and under right here. Actually, that should have been turned the other direction, so let's do that. Turn it in this way so it looks prettier. Now I'm going to take these out and turn this up under right here. Like I said, ever so slightly, just to get that in there to where it will be finished. It will be finished, okay? Then we are going to take it over to our machine and we're going to quilt it. And that you do just however your little heart desires, okay? See, we've got it all ready here now. See all this? All right. Now then we need to cut this off so we know where the end is right here. And I'm quilting along this seam right here. It shows stitching right along in here. So that's obviously where I'm going to stitch mine. But you stitch yours however you want to. Quilt it however your little heart desires. And get it all quilted. And once you get it all quilted, come back and we're going to attach it back to our jacket. Okay, now then, to quilt mine, I set my needle in the center position. I'm using an open toe foot so I can see exactly where my stitching is going to be. I'm going to use a 3.2 stitch, 3.2, just because that's what I used on the other sleeve. No right or wrong there. And I'm going to start by sewing right along this edge right here, okay? I'm going to sew here, I'm going to sew up here, turning that in, across, down, and across, because this is what I need to stay in place, okay? So first I'm going to start sewing right here. That is, if I can get a hold of the foot pedal. Come on back just a little bit there. And I pull my pins out as I go. I know I need a new bobbin case. One has been ordered. Don't panic. She still sews fine. She just makes a rattling noise. And I've ordered new knife blades and a new cutting thing as well because mine's not cutting like I want it to. Now then, I'm going to go this way, like this right here, across each one, okay? The very same way that I did this one, okay? So I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to stitch here, 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 and here, and back stitch here, okay? You can find you a pattern staying right along those stitch marks. And for this, I'm going kind of slow so I can kind of keep it on where it's supposed to be. And clipping my threads as I go, because that can be a big pain in the boutate. The ends to have to come in here and find all of them because you'll have a whole bunch. So come up to the next one. And we're going to continue until we get to the top. And then we'll be right back. Okay, now then, you can see that I've done all of my zigzags across horizontally. Now then, I've got to go vertically and connect all of these. And the way I'm going to do that is just going to lay it down here, and I'm going to start right over here at this edge, and I'm going to stitch that. Back stitch is this when I start and stop, and then go to the next row and get them all done. And when I get them all done, then I'll come back and we'll get it ready to put back on our coat. Okay, now then, got my pinking shears. You can see that I've stitched around every one of these little hexes right here. Every one of them. And I've got my pinking shears. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to trim this with the pinking shears just to give it an edge that won't fray quite so much. Okay, I could set the serger up and run down through there with it, but since I don't have it already set up, I think I'll just do this, because this is not something that's going to take a lot of washing. It'll be washed, you know, every now and again, but it's not going to take a lot of washing. So because of that, I'm going to try to trim in there as close as I can to that denim, and I've got a little bit more right in there to trim to get close to that. And I'm going to do this to both sleeves, okay? You don't want to trim your denim off, because then you're cutting your sleeve down and it may or may not fit back real well. Y'all, I'm just making a mess in the floor right here with all these little pieces. All right, let me get the other one here and get that done to it, and I'll be right back. Okay, now then, if you were smart, you labeled your sleeves right and left. I didn't tell you to do that, but if you were smart, you did that. I did not, so I had to stop and do a little bit of thinking to get them back on where they needed to be. Then you want to find the center of your sleeve right here, the top of your center of your sleeve right here. I'm trying to get y'all where you can see good, and the top center of your armhole. Now it is not at this seam, okay? It's not, and that's fine, because you want the center. You don't necessarily want the seam, if that makes sense, because if you've got center to center, then you've got it back the way it's supposed to go. Okay? You want to lay those right there together, just like that. You want to open this seam out. Okay? Open it out. And you want to pin it. And you want to come around through here, and you want to pin this all the way around, or clip it. I might just stick some clips on it, because I'd say that'll hold this. Pin it or clip it, but you want to put your sleeve all the way around. And we're going to see right here if it lines up. It lines up right here. Okay, right there with where that is. You may have a little bit to ease back in here, but if you do, just ease it back. Because you do not want to pull it tight. Okay, because if you do, that's when you get things off and funky and everything out of kilter. And then go back down here and do the other side. And there again, you may have to do some easing in around as you go. I'm going to go ahead and do my side seam right here. Let's pull that one loose. These can get heavy. I am not going to line the middle part of this, because I'll just wear a sweatshirt or something under it probably. And if it's that cold, I'll probably wear a coat. Maybe. I might not, because I don't like a coat. That's the reason I like to be where it's warm all the time. I do, although Monday this might be nice to have with all the linings and so forth. Okay, now then, put this back together right here on this corner, because it came flying apart. Now then, we're going to sew this, and I'm going to sew it right along this seam right here. Right here. Sew right along that seam. And then if you want to come back and zigzag it, you can do that. I do not think I will, because I just don't think I'm going to. So that's just me. You do you, I'll do me. How's that? Okay, let me stitch these two sleeves, and then I'll bring you back and show you how we finish the side seam, the underarm seam, and our cuffs. Okay, right here's what we've got now. This is all stitched in here, right around there. Comes right here to underneath the armhole. Okay, right here. And this is where we have to stitch this back together. Right up through here. Easy peasy. We're just going to stitch this all the way up through here. Start back right here. And stitch. We're going to do this to both sides, and then we're going to come back and put our, let's get that under there. Then we'll come back and do our cuffs. All right, now then, this is our last step. We've got to reattach our cuff. To do that, you put that right in there just like that. Pull that out there. Get all this on the inside. Just like this. And if you want to stick you a pin in it, you can. But I'm actually just going to set mine down here and sew it. Being careful not to catch the back side of your cuff. Okay? And this will probably be thick, so you want to be careful when you're doing this. And I think yeah, my needle's still threaded. I thought it had come unthreaded there. Let's get this right here, all up here where you can move it and not have to tug too hard on it. Pop that down in there. Just like so. And I've got a big hump right there. So I'm going to take it slow and easy. And it stopped before it broke the needle, which I'm very thankful for. Got our sleeves finished, stitched around. It looks perfect. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Just looks perfect. All right, now then, one more thing I decided I wanted to do to this jacket before I can say it's finished. I want to put a zipper in it because I don't like these buttons. They're hard to button, and I just don't button it because it's hard to get them buttoned, and then they're hard to get unbuttoned, and just causes me a lot of undue stress. So we're going to put a separating zipper in our jacket right here in the front. And I've got this pink zipper right here with, I guess, I don't know, grayish, light bluish colored teeth. It'll be beautiful with this. So I have pinned it on this one side. I actually started pinning it on both sides, but I'm going to take one side loose because we only need it pinned on one side to start with. Okay. And I've got it laid down here just like so. And I'm just going to start stitching it right here along this. See where this is? Right here. I'm going to leave this right here on the very bottom loose because it'll be easier to get a hold of to zip. So I've brought it down here just a little bit further. But I'm going to start sewing this with my zipper foot. right here, just right along that edge, right down through there. Okay, need to put my pins over on the other side so that, and I'm leaving the whole zipper zipped up so everything stays where it should be. Okay. Because we are basically just going to top stitch this zipper on here. All right. We're basically just going to top stitch it. I'm going to go down one side, flip it over, and come back and catch the front side. Okay. So it'll be stitched along here and along here. And I have it pretty side out, the wrong side of my zipper to the right side of my jacket. Okay. And my zipper is too long at the top, and that's okay. We're going to shorten it. And first, I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got it kind of marked right here with a pin where I want to shorten it to, which is about right here. Okay, doesn't need to come all the way up. It can, and turn back in and under and stitch down. I could do that, but I think I'll just shorten it. And to do that, you need a pair of pliers. Let me reach over here and grab a pair. Okay, I didn't have a mic on either, but I'll get your sound in there. So you're going to come in here and about wherever you want your end to be. Come down 2 or 3. I'm just going to go to right there. Just arbitrarily pick a point and pull this out. Just pull your teeth off. It's supposed to just be like pulling teeth. Although these are not coming loose. So, yeah, there we go. That did not work, did it? Having a hard time with that. It's not wanting to come loose. So let's try something else. I'm going to go up here to the top. And see if I do that, if they come off. They will not. This zipper does not have removable teeth, you all. So, to repair this, to still fix it, because we can still make it a separating zipper, I'm going to cut it off extra long, all the way up here to the edge. Cut right between my teeth. No, these are not my sewing scissors. These are my paper scissors. Then I'm going to cut the teeth back. About wherever I thought I wanted it. About right there. And I'm going to cut the teeth off. Just like so. So that we've got this right here. See this? We've got no teeth and lots of zipper. We're going to turn this under. I'm going to give me a little bit of space right up here. About an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch right here. I'm going to turn that back under. And lay my zipper down just like this. And pin it into place. Then when I get up here and I'm sewing up this way, and before I do that, I'm going to sew across this several times, okay? And I probably will never zip it all the way up anyway, but I'm going to sew across right here to put me a stop between these last 2 teeth on this zipper. All right, so first off, let's get this stitched down on here. And let's see if we've got it going the right direction. I think I do have my foot on the right way. It's amazing. That's amazing in itself. Alrighty, got just plain white thread, top and bottom. Just plain thread, no big deal. Make it match or not, that's up to you. And you're gonna want to go very slow. Very, very slow. Especially if you're going over several layers like I am. You want to backstitch when you start and when you stop. And I'm starting my stitching right over here. Right here at this point, right here, that's where I'm starting my stitching. It's right here at that bottom cuff point, okay? You can see that's still up higher back there, but it will drop down as I stitch on it through here. And I just want to lay this and match it right here, this edge of the inside of my jacket to the edge of my zipper teeth. You're just using a straight stitch. And I'm just going to go kind of slow right up through here. Removing my pins as I go. Let me grab my little pin cushion. Okay, here's this side of our zipper. Stitched in beautifully. Okay, ouch. Now this side you're going to do a little bit different. You're going to leave you some space in here, right here, and you're going to stitch along this right here because you want this right here to be able to move. Okay, just a little bit. So we're just going to put one row of stitching right down the middle. And first you're going to start up here at the top and you're going to do your cross over to make your stop on your zipper. Okay, your zipper stop at the top. Pull that pin out. Go slow and go right between the teeth on your zipper. Bring y'all over here so you can see. Okay, you want to go slow and stitch right between those zipper teeth. You want to do that several times. Because if you go zippity-doo-dah, you're going to break your needle. Now then, move y'all back just a little bit so I can get in here and get it turned. All right, now then you want to stitch right down through here. As you go across thick things, you want to slow down. Okay? Slow down. So that you don't break a needle. Now then, let's raise this up. Slide this all the way to the top so we can continue down our zipper. I wasn't supposed to stitch all the way down, was I? So I'm going to do this, raise my needle up, back it up, stitch this another time or two and back stitch, and then I'll rip that little bit out. Alright. See, I goof all the time. I'm always having to rip out. Always having to rip things out. Alright, now then, we've got our zipper in our jacket. So we can zip it up. Just like so. Oh, coconut. There we go. And we put a zipper in our jacket. Our denim jacket now has a zipper. We got one more finishing touch. One more finishing touch. I've got one of these little charms right here that goes with this particular line of fabric. This is a Lori Holt fabric, and a lot of times she does these cute little charms and things. I've got one of these. I ordered it off of Facebook from somebody. And it's this little woman. And it's this little woman right here. Let me find her. She's on here right here in this little red dress. And I'm going to put this on our zipper for our zipper pull. Won't that just be the finishing touch that this jacket needs? And Coco needs to hush. She's being very loud and mouthy. Coconut, you need to chill. Here's our little woman. We're going to pop her, and she's both. No, she's just one-sided, isn't she? Let's make sure we get her on right. There we go. There's our jacket. Isn't it just cute and adorable? The easy peasy to zip and unzip your jacket with this. It's good stuff. It really are. Zip it up. Then you can also button it if you want to. You can go ahead and button it as well. But there's our jacket. We've added our zipper. I love it. I may have to add a zipper to this one because this one just has buttons and I don't like the buttons. And it didn't take me but just a few minutes to add that zipper. So I may just put me a zipper on this one. But there's our jacket. I'm going to take it downstairs, throw it in the washing machine so that it will get all soft and snuggly. So I can start wearing it. Yay! We did it, we did it, we did it. I'm so proud of you. You put a zipper in a jacket. Yay! Y'all can do it too. Coco is just beside herself because the mister went downstairs and evidently shut the door and she cannot get down the steps. So I'm going to have to go let her out. Alright, here's our jacket. It's all finished. I had to let Coco outside because the mister went out and she was stuck in here and she was not happy. She does not like to be in here if he is outside. There's our cute little zipper pull. Easy peasy way to add you a zipper to a button-up jacket. That didn't take any time at all. No, it did not. There's our zippered denim quilted sleeved sewing jacket. Yay! It's all finished. I can't wait to wear it. Look at it. Isn't it just cute? I just think it's cute. I just love, 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 love it. I wear this one all the time. It's got the zebra on the back. Every time I wear it, people stop me. Where did you get your jacket? And I say, I made it. I'll show you how to make yours on YouTube. And they get so excited. Y'all are making stuff and you're using your creativity, and I'm so proud of you. Yes, I am. I'm very proud of you. God gave you creative talents. Everybody has creative talents. You just have to tap into them. We've all got them. Yes, we do. We do. Some people say, well, I'm not creative at all. Yes, you are. Just use your brain. That's all you got to do. God gave you a brain. Use it. You'll be creating stuff out of thin air in no time flat. The more knowledge you have about a subject, the more creative you can be with it. This is something that has grown with me throughout my life, is my sewing, and I have been sewing my whole life. I have. I love it. It's just my passion. It's what I enjoy doing, and I love every minute of it. So, get you a jacket. This one I got at a thrift store, I think, or off of Facebook Marketplace, somewhere like that. I think I got this one off of Facebook Marketplace. It's a Lucky brand. Love Lucky brand denim. I do. It fits well. It lasts. This jacket is as soft as it can be. I'm going to go wash it so my sleeves will get all soft and squishy, because right now they're kind of stiff because there are so many layers. They need to be washed and softened up and get all these threads off of my jacket. And I think this was the perfect use of our little woman for our zipper pull. Didn't know what on earth I would do with it once I got it. I've had it for quite a while. And I was like, oh no, she needs to go on this jacket because that's what she is. I know, right? Thrift you a jacket, get you some cheater print fabric, quilting fabric, whatever your little heart desires. Or if you want to piece it, piece it. You can piece you some pieces together to make your sleeves. If that's what you want to do, that's what I want you to do. But have fun. That most importantly, above all else, have fun. Have fun creating, have fun doing, and enjoy it. Because if you're not enjoying it, it becomes a job, and then that's not fun. So you need to do it to have fun. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me in the sewing room today.